Double jab back. No, double jab backhand. Good, Alex. Your toes. Don't lean. Don't lean. Gotta mean it. Good.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And there's a lot of you out there. This is England Jones and Baylor TV, and we have the man a lot of people want answers from, Mr. Asgar Tair. How are we doing, sir?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Let's make sure that you're loud, exclusive, everyone can hear you.
Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me?
Let's make sure we can hear everyone clearly. Can we get a thumbs up from somebody?
Hey, can I give a big shout out to Mr. T? T? I forgot you, sir.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. T as well. Yep. We can all hear Asgard. That means, can you hear me then, Mikey?
Hey, Abdul Rahman, prolific work. Salam to you, brother.
Prolific genius.
Prolific genius, Abdul Rahman. And Nadim Lal.
Jester.
All of them.
Wally Dean.
Walid, my brother. Listen, Walid is a superstar in the making. I'm telling you, remember that name. Walid Din. Amateur superstar.
Again, gonna give him a shout out.
Give a shout out to Walid Din all the time. Listen. People just don't realize this guy is exciting. They don't call you Dynamite if you ain't special. And for them to call him Dynamite, he's special. I feel they rushed him a bit. They rushed him for that Commonwealth, but the kid's young and he's hungry, believe me.
Let's give a shout out to the people that are in the room first. Gazzo, Hartley Marshall, Star Blaster, Mikey, Jim Wilson, Boom Boom Coil.
Oh, I like that name. Boom Boom.
I do. So do I. Right, let's get down to business. Yannick, good evening, Yannick. Hope you're well. Okay. How long is the show lasting? I don't know. All right. So we are at the live from the East Midlands Boxing Academy. Am I correct?
That's right, sir.
Now, the East Midlands Boxing Academy is in Derby. Is that correct?
It is, yes. Now,
people are questioning, are you the trainer at the East Midlands Boxing Academy, or are you just randomly standing there shouting out instructions?
I'm a full-time trainer. Today I'm excused because these guys think they're going to get put on the interview, which I will put them on. In fact, I am the trainer, but these guys are cool. They know what to do. Set routine. As long as they're putting in the rounds in, I don't need to do anything. Fantastic role models for the young because they know what they need to do. I don't need to keep telling them, and they just do it. Brilliant.
So let's get down to business. Let's get down to serious business. Let's talk about the academy first, because that's a big thing. Tell us first of all about the academy, how it started.
I was with the Furies, and Peter always told me, Asgar, you need to start doing your own thing, give something back to the community, which I wasn't really into. And he got me into it, pushed me into it. So I started it up. That's all it was.
Okay, and in terms of starting off, you've got a location. There's bags
Yeah.
that people see and stuff. So people want to know how you got to that position to have those bags. Were you financially supported by the Furies?
Nothing at all. This was all by myself. Literally, I would work 1 week, buy a second-hand bag. I would ask my friends to donate old bags. I'll go to, if you look at these bags, I'll show you them. That was given from a box called Jack Perry, one of the Ingle fighters now in Derby.
Okay.
This was given from a gym in Mansfield. So that was good. Empire Gym in Mansfield.
Okay.
And the rest of the stuff was all donated. Everything was bought second-hand. We have no new bags whatsoever. This is all done from donations. All done from donations. So it's when I say to you, it was a struggle. I really mean a struggle. And we didn't just, it wasn't a case of getting it all in a week. This was over 3 years. So we started from 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, and moved on. And as the more bags we got, the more people we brought in.
So talk to me about how the community, how it's affected the community and what the council have done in terms of the community and helping out.
Council have done nothing. Basically, in terms of the community, the so-called community that I was from, they invested in a gym they invested 200-something thousand into a gym. The people that were involved had no experience in boxing, but they was linked up with the councillors and all that. Long story short, the guy that they invested in got caught growing cannabis, and that gym went up in the air. But out of pride and principle, they refused to still help me, even though, you know, I've done so much for the community in Derby. I've had absolute no help whatsoever, none at all.
Application forms been put in?
I've applications for 3 years. First year, oh, you're not here long enough. Second year, you need to be affiliated, you need to have the directors, you need to have bank statements and all that, no problem. Third year, oh, we don't replace equipment, we buy new stuff. So they just kept refusing me, and they made up every excuse possible. This year I put in an application and they said to me straight, just withdraw it, you're not going to get it. I've even got it in an email. They says you're not getting it.
Why?
Because I'm a threat in terms of how it works in the funding system is a lot of them are fund writers and they want percentages and commissions. And they were asking like 20%, 30%. I can't do that because every single penny that comes into this gym is accounted for. So how do I explain 20, 30% unless they're going to declare I'm giving them the money? Because it's not just me. I have a committee that I'm accountable to. It's just crazy. And I've been to absolute everyone, even to Eddie Hearn, who publicly humiliated me on Twitter. If you ever look back on the tweets, and
okay, stop there.
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn. Everybody knows about Eddie Hearn, and everybody knows they consider him the #1 promoter in the country and all the rest of it. For me, it's just about, what it is about finding out truth. So let's go back to this point here. You said Eddie Hearn humiliated you on Twitter.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
He put in an article saying that they're looking to sponsor amateur clubs. So I emailed him, no response, kept emailing him, no response, and I got him on Twitter. Because I think somebody tagged me on, said, look, why didn't you sponsor or why didn't you help Asgar's East Midlands Boxing Academy? And he might try to say, like, I never applied. Then when I told him I did, and he got a bit cheeky, and it was like, oh, some people aren't grateful enough. I was trying to give you some advice. Well, he wasn't. He was just a cocky so-and-so, you know. And believe me, you know, I really did grow. You know, I did beg. I went to every person possible. Now, you know what? In this game, it's not about me. Sometimes you have to bow down. Sometimes if you lose your self-respect, just to get what is best for the community, for the kids. But it wasn't meant to be, and I'll never stop there. I'll keep trying. But until I do, I've got to fund this myself, and it's very, very hard.
So where do you think the blockages have been? And who are the people you've gone to? Who are the people you've spoken to? So now, if people are watching this, and on the replay are watching and say, okay, they're going to want to help. And if they're going to want to help, they're going to want to know Who have you spoken to? And I know there's a process. You'll talk to the local, the local people, the local council. You go and approach for funding. I mean, I know for sport, for cricket, right? You'd go to local council for funding. You would go to Sport England.
I've been to all them. I've been to all them.
The lottery funding.
I've been to all them. I've been
Okay. And what did they say to you?
Make up excuses. You're not affiliated. You're not. You've not been running long enough. You're not experienced enough. You ain't got a bank account. But on every occasion, I proved that I had bank accounts. I was affiliated. I have the experience. I've produced champions after champions after champions. You know, I've done everything. But every time I do something, there's always something more. There's always an excuse.
Let's go. Let's break this down. So the ABA. What's ABA England got to say about it? Let's go over to the ABA. They're the top people, right? What did the ABA say about it?
Well, I'm very close with the main ABA guy called Mark Foreman, and he was very supportive. He told me who to go to, which was Sports England. That's who you apply to. And every time I applied to Sports England, they would tell me no. In fact, I may have the letters in front of me. 1 second. Let me just try. Well, I try to keep up.
Get me those letters.
Right, here's one of the applications. Yep. So you can see Sports England at the top.
Yep.
East Midlands Boxing Academy.
Yep.
Okay, and let me just get you the response. That's one of the applications. Give me a second, sir.
Well, no problems.
I've got it all here. Absolute disgraceful. The attitude they've had. The excuses they've made up. See all the work I do. Right, here's one of them from Sport in England.
Yes.
Right, I don't know if you can see this, where it says only one director has been appointed, yeah?
Okay.
Well, we've got 3, so that was a lie. The second bit was the application was incomplete as the company did not provide evidence of affiliation to England Boxing. Okay?
Okay.
Which is fine. Then here's one of them. Yeah? So that answers that, my affiliation. I've got my badge. I've been on numerous shows, won numerous ABA awards. The other thing they says, you do not have a child protection policy. Can you read that?
Okay.
Could you read what that says?
Yeah, that's a workshop. But have you got a policy? There's got to be a policy. You've got to have some sort of policy in place that says child protection policy, and it has to be up on your walls.
Yes, I have all that. I have it all here. Everything
Okay.
they've said, everything I've said is all here. Once, let me get it all out for you. And when you sit on the walls, yep. And I've got the policy. Just got to find it all. Like I said, I've got everything on the table. Stay on the line, sir. Stay on the line.
Yep. One of the things that people come to me and I would think, because you are affiliated with Team Fury, that, oh, don't worry, well, Tyson can help you out, or don't worry, Peter can plough some money, or don't worry, you must have got loads of money from them lot.
Well, on loads of occasions, a load of times I've applied, and that's the response I've had. I'll get the child policy in a second. I've had a load of abuse in terms of, oh, you can go to them for money. But I've received nothing from anybody. Obviously, they've got their own things going on. So that's maybe why. Well, I've had nothing, and I try to explain to people, and maybe that's the reason why a lot of people turn me down. Maybe the dark so-called forces are interlinked, and they keep refusing me and want to break me down, because It's a bit of a coincidence. Why wouldn't you give an amateur club that, not just an amateur club, a community interest company that provides for over 50 to 100 people per day, that deals with adults with special needs, children with Down syndrome, football teams, netball teams, boxing clubs, MMA clubs, you know, you name it, we've got it. And why wouldn't you want to fund, especially when the councillors have been to this gym and the councillors have promised money and all of a sudden they go blank.
Let me ask you a question. Are you at the gym every day?
Every day, from 9 in the morning till 9 at night.
Every day?
Every day. Well, not Saturdays, but every other day.
Okay, and where are you located? Example, I was going to randomly come to Derby. How would I get? What would I do if I got outside Derby train station? What happens then?
Just come to city centre. We're literally at the outskirts of the city centre. Literally.
How far are you from the city centre?
30-second walk.
And what bus would I get across there?
You don't need a bus. You walk. It literally is that close.
Okay, where are you next to?
City centre, the main city centre.
So okay, if I were walking through the city centre of Derby,
yep.
Where would you be? I mean, it must be a big city centre.
It's not. It's very small, to be fair. You literally just walk up the main street, Badminton Lane, walk towards Burton Road.
Yeah.
That's where we are. Burton Road, literally. If you know Derby, you'll know Burton Road.
What if I didn't know Derby?
You'll just ask for Burton Road. It really is that simple.
Burton Road, and where and the East Midlands Boxing Academy is there.
Yep, at the corner of Spa Lane and Burton Road. Can't miss it.
And you'd be there all the time.
All the time.
And you're the man to come to.
The man to come to.
I don't have to go through Joe.
No. I'm the club secretary, the club director, the club trainer, welfare. You know, I've got the separate welfare officers and all that for obvious reasons. But everything will come through me. I'm in full control of this academy. Nothing goes through this academy without me knowing.
Okay, fair enough. That's very good information there. Very, very good information.
You know what it is, Ingram? It's like going into it a bit deeper. It's like, especially the night of winning the title with Tyson. You know, when we was in the corner, I've got a picture. In fact, I'll show this picture. I'll show you this picture. Can you see that picture on the wall? This picture here, right there. That's me.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
Okay. From that moment, everybody.
Okay. Can we get close to that picture so people can see? I know what it is. I've seen it before. Let me do this a second so people can see. There we go. Okay.
From that moment, it was like everyone in Derby were brilliant. You know, the local people, the local community people were brilliant. They were so supportive and happy for me. But for some reason, the council, the councillors, the rival clubs, and not the rival clubs, certain people associated with certain things were really trying everything, even to the point where they've contacted the landlord to buy the property off me, to have me out. You know, the landlord's being bribed. You know, he's saying, look, I want you out of my gym, out of my property, even though all the rent's paid up to date, all the electricity is paid up to date, everything is paid up to date, but for some reason, he's turned off the water supply, won't give me no explanation, will not answer my calls. Now, and I believe, well, I know that certain people want to buy the gym that have also invested in the other gym I told you previously about. See, it's just a witch hunt. It's just horrible. It's a non-stop campaign. Now, my point to people is, listen, why would you want to take kids and put them back into the streets? Why? I understand this business is your property. You can do whatever you want. But my message is to the councils of Derby. Apart from Joe Nater. Joe Nater is a guy that's not even in the area. But he's heard and read so much about it. He got so frustrated, he went out of his own way, got his own people to come and paint the gym for me, out of his own way. But he had nothing to do with this area, and he got a lot of stick for that. But I respect Joe Nater. That's what you call a community leader. He's the only man that stood up for me.
What about the local MP? What's he saying? What's she saying?
Not interested.
Excuse me?
Not interested, literally. You're not in our ward. You're not in our ward. What it says, you go to one, I'll speak to your local councillor in your ward.
Really?
You go to them. Oh, you're not in our ward. You're in the other ward. I go to them. Oh, you're not in our ward. And they just keep passing you from pillar to post.
Okay, hold on. So we go to the next step. You file a complaint. You file a complaint. You file a complaint because you feel that you're being discriminated against. If they don't take your complaint forward, right, then you go to the ombudsman. The ombudsman has.
No, what they say is there's no place available. Yeah. Which I know is all rubbish because it's just within themselves where the council are trying to sell properties.
But the ombudsman would go beyond that. The ombudsman has got veto power over all these jokers. The ombudsman's got veto power because the ombudsman can actually ask for rules to be changed. Funding can get pulled because the ombudsman's got that sort of power. That's what the ombudsman's there for.
That's what I will do then. If that's what it needs to be done, that's what I'll need to do. Because these are things I've not been told about. I've just been literally left on my own to do what I need to do.
So you need the ombudsman or an independent, somebody who's an independent that can come in and make an investigation as to what is going on.
Yep, I'll get on to that.
There needs to be some legal action taken.
Absolutely, because it's just not on. No, even from them turning off the water supply, I'm sure that's against human rights. You know, why would you turn off the water supply? Even though the bill's paid up to date, I spoke to Severn Trent. There's nothing we can do. It's a civil matter between you and your landlord. Basically, I've had so much rubbish, so much crap happen to us that we've tried, we've gone through every obstacle and we're coming to our last straws, last bit. We are desperate right now. We're literally desperate, but we are looking, we need a new place. Now, what we've built here, it's been a good 3.5 years. It's been very, very good. I would love to stay, but to be honest with you, it's just too much headache. I can't maintain it myself. I need some help from the councils. I need some help from the community. I need some help from whoever I can get help from. Now,
so people would ask the question, how are you funding it then? If you're in the gym all the time, how are you funding it?
Well, this is another story I'll tell you. Well, I used to have an office. What it is, my main training is marketing and referring and marketing claims and advertising claims, which is my business here. I've had to bring my office, I've had to bring EBA claims to the gym. So I've closed down my shop front because I was paying £300 a month rent for an office.
Right.
So what I've done is used that money and brought it here. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Not getting as much business as I can, but at least the gym is running. And because obviously with my links and this, people I've moved with, I still can get some money in. Now, I still make a massive loss because I've still got to pay for bills, pay for bags, pay for transport, pay for, whatever's in this gym I have to pay for. There's nobody that comes and says, right here, don't get me wrong. Now, I've had some good people that have made some local, people, Chris Bottom, for example, there's so much of people that have just donated some good money. Now, even the other day, yesterday, someone donated 100 quid, which means a lot. It means a lot, but unfortunately, without signing fully, it just isn't enough. When you say, bits and bobs here, bits and bobs there, a bracket, for example, like that could break. Now, that costs money, them brackets there. We need proper brackets. You see, this gym can't run on cheap brackets. Now, look how many times, can you see up here, how many times them brackets are broken?
Yeah.
Now, people say, well, why do you get proper ones? We don't have the money to get proper ones. We literally don't have money. Now, I've run this gym for 3.5 years. You know how much money it's cost me? Unbelievable. But you know why I've been very lucky? My wife has been very, very supportive. She knows what my passion is. She knows what I want to do. And she backs me. And I'm very fortunate. My kids have had to lose out. I've had to sell my cars. I've had to just get rid of everything that I've wanted and downsize just to make sure things can meet. Just so I can know that the gym is running.
The parents of those children coming to your communities. Yep. How's that working? What are their response to it all?
They're disgusted. They can't believe it. They try, and they're really, really good. They try everything. They complain. They call the counsellors. They call funders. They try absolute everything. Now, certain parents, they all do collections, and I feel so sad because, your average working parent, or even some single parents, we shouldn't be taking money off the people. Do you see where I'm coming from? Now, due to funding up certain procedures in funding, we had to charge a minimum fee, which is understandable. But I don't want to start extorting these people for a silly amount. You know, I don't want to increase the rent. I don't want to increase the membership. I don't want to increase training fees, because it's like certain groups that come here, Alternative Action Group, which deals with people with Down syndrome and special needs. I don't charge them to use my facilities. People that teach MMA, I don't charge them. Why? Because they're trying to build up. We're trying to build them for the community. Now, if a guy's charging somebody like $250 and he's only got 3 people come to his class, I can't take money off him. You see where I'm coming from? We're trying to build, and somebody has to make a sacrifice, and that sacrifice will have to come from me. I don't expect people, because I believe what goes around comes around. And I do believe good will come out of this.
There's certainly some action points that need to be taken. And for the life of me, I keep thinking that maybe you might need somebody from the outside to come in and have a look at this.
You know what upsets me, and I'll be honest with you, Ingram? You know what really gets to me? How many times have I put it on Twitter? How many times have I put it on Facebook? How many times have I made it known that I'm struggling? Well, ask yourself one question. Does anybody give a shit? No,
they'll give a shit if you end up being depressed and you become suicidal and your face is on TV. That's when they'll give a shit. Then it's too late. That's when it's too late.
Well, I don't know about me being suicidal or whatever. My point is this.
Well, listen, what might not break one man breaks another. All right. That's what I'm aware of.
Absolutely. But my point is this, yeah. It's like certain people, even when I was doing it, they'll see me down, they'll campaigning against me. You know, the worst bit is when you're trying something and it's the people nearest to you that are digging it in deeper and really making it harder for you. Do you understand that, Ingram?
Oh, I understand. I understand.
Now let me show you my list, for example. So, I've made a mess now. For example, today, can you see this list? That's just this. That's just this week alone. The kids I've got to take. Thursday, I've got to go to Walsall. Friday, I've got to go to Birmingham. 16th, I've got to go to Scunthorpe. The 28th, I've got to go to, where's that? There's no location yet. And you see the 4th, the 5th, and it just goes on and on and on. Who do you think pays for all that? I do. People who know how to run amateur clubs, it's not as easy as they think. It's a tough task. Everything in this room, look, it's not much, but we've done with second hand. We've had to survive. That's the way we are. Look, everything. People don't understand.
Okay.
Now, what more do I have to do? What more do I have to do to ask people for help? I've gone to the councillors, told me to do one. I've gone to the community businesses who told me to do one. I've gone to people who are associated with me in boxing, they told me to do one. The only person that's obviously promised to help me was Peter. So apart from Peter, who promised to help me, which I need help now. Does that make sense? I really do need help now in terms of my amateur club. So I'm going to whoever, if you can help us, if you can help, a successful club in terms of we have a lot of people and we are helping the community, get in touch, please. It would really mean a lot.
What about doing a newspaper? Getting the newspapers down to do something on it. I'm going on the radio and talking about it.
I've done it.
What happens?
Nothing. Oh, no, sorry. A sweet lady came and dropped £50 check off. And it was so good of her. And she says, look, I don't want to be known, but here's a check. And it was great. It was a good article, to be fair. It was a good article.
Need to push it out. Need to push it out further. It's got to stop being a local thing. We're going to make it a national thing.
Absolutely, because we're not just Derby, we're the East Midlands. We have people from all over the country that come and use this gym. It's a great gym, a great place for everyone to meet up and spar. Even the British Boxing Board use this facility as one of the training courses.
So then why don't you now try and get the British Boxing Board to support you, man?
I did try, but they went through a power struggle kind of thing where they've all divided it into different regions now. And I will be in contact with them, hopefully. But the maximum they could give, if you're lucky, is 500 quid. £500, it's a lot of money to some, but to run a boxing club, it really isn't. Because you ask yourself, I've got 25 registered ABA boxers. And each ABA head guard, which you must have, is a minimum of £80. That's minimum. Has to be ABA approved. Now, obviously, you don't expect me to get 23. So, luckily, I did a little GoFundMe campaign previously, and we raised £380, which managed to get us 4 head guards, which is brilliant. You see? Now, there are people out there that are trying, and I am just trying, but I need a massive boost. You know, I need to find a different place, no stress, where we can just get the ball rolling, where we're 2 years ahead of ourselves.
You need a sponsor.
Oh, if I can get a sponsor. I see, it was sad because, well, not sad. I got a call from a guy up in Holland. His name's Barry, a good friend of Peter's, you know, close Team Fury member. And he says, look, whatever I can do, and I'll send. And he had a load of head guards, which were that he had in Holland, and he's posted them over to us. But the only problem we had was ABA want ABA approved only. You see how the monopoly is. You know, you've got to buy from us to be associated with us.
So what's the break? Now there's a break. There was an argument between the ABA and something else, 2 different organisations. What was all that about?
Well, a lot of people have left the AIBA and set up their own organisation. Okay. Now, I didn't understand the argument, to be honest with you. What I did understand was I didn't have the money to close down and restart again. So I stayed loyal to where I was. I spoke to a guy called Mark Foreman, and ever since, they've been spot on, absolute brilliant.
Very, very interesting. Let's see. People are asking what did Hearn do to you?
He did nothing. He just lately says stop begging, and no. You know, he could have been a bit more professional, or he could have been a bit more respectful, but his words were pretty petty, if you know what I mean. You know, I only asked you out of respect. I was asking you because you offered to help an amateur club. It wasn't me directly and my associations with the Furies. It wasn't us versus you. It was a case of, can you help the kids? And he had to be a bit rude and sarcastic. You know, doesn't matter.
In terms of the kids, do you charge anything for them to come in and do boxing?
Only the Prospects ABC club, only the amateur club. We have to. There has to be a basic fee just to show that you're self-sustainable. If wherever they do give you funding, we don't keep coming back to them. So we've got the equipment. We do charge a minimum fee, and we can run. I refuse to charge the people with Down syndrome, special needs. I refuse to charge people who've only got 2-3 people in their clubs. I want people to build on this. I'm not here to make money. I've got my own money, which I chuck enough into the club as it is. So I've got enough to survive. Boxing is my passion. This is my life. So I'm not really too fussed about other things. To be a successful club, you've got to be full on into your boxing. It can't be a part-time thing.
What about making a proposal, maybe, of making a, maybe, I don't know, it maybe you won't say, but maybe a Tyson Fury boxing academy that would get his backing?
Oh no. See, they've all got their own personal issues. It would be great, you know, it would be great if I can say to the Furies, hey, let's do a dinner show. Whatever you make, let's do it. We're all good, you know, maybe it's for the club, but you know what it is? It's obvious what's going on with them. They've got so much going on, and it's so sad. And to be honest with you, I do really feel for Peter because he's got so much on his plate. But the man's a professional, and I'm sure he'll ride through this. And they will be back. They will be back, and they'll be stronger. And when they make another 30-40 million, they may consider me. But until then, you know.
Okay. So if people need to contact you, Asgar, how do they contact you?
Just inbox me via Twitter or Facebook, or I've got a GoFundMe page.
Yes.
So hopefully you'll share the link later, and I'll share the link.
I'll put the link in the video as well.
I appreciate that, Ingram. And that's the way forward, and I will update people regular.
Okay. And it's got my brain ticking anyway, so.
You know what it is, Ingram? It's so hard. It really is hard. You know, the things that we've had to face, the obstacles, the rejections, and you try everything. You know, when schools have their problems, and this is fact, schools from the whole community come to me, say, look, Asgar, we have people that we've paid and they can't deal with the situation. Can you come in and speak to the kids? And I've gone in and I've dealt with the situation. I've had kids come to the gym. I've been acting as mentors, advisors, drugs counselors. I've done everything for them. But yet they've got no money or no funding for me because there are other projects that are interlinked that they've already paid. It's ridiculous.
It's a matter that needs to be raised higher. I think it needs to be taken out of cesspit. It needs to be taken further up. That's what I think. And maybe there are channels that are unbeknown to you that you could go through.
I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about other issues, because there are other things that need to be brought about tonight, because there are a lot of things to talk about. So again, let's clear a few things up regarding, again, your association with the Furies. To clear up once more, you're associated with the Furies and the Eastside boxing gym.
Yeah, East Midlands Boxing Academy is just solely mine. It's just nothing to do with anybody. It's something that I've ran myself. I've had no funding whatsoever. I've always supported the Furies. I've always helped. I've been there, you know, since Peter started. Peter knows I've been there. But to be honest with you, Ingram, it's been hard because, you know, little does Peter know that we've had like little there's been people within, not any Fury members, other people within that have been, and excuse the language, horrible little bastards. Now, out of respect for certain people, you don't really cause a scene, because obviously you've got to respect your place. But them certain places, you ask yourself, is it really worth somebody degrading you, humiliating you, you know, looking down at you? You see where I'm coming from? Now, like I said, it came to a stage where I had to step back. I had to take a massive step back and say, you know what, Asgar, wake the fuck up. You've got your own life to live. Don't let people treat you like shit. When I say treat you like shit, I mean literally, you know, beg for a tracksuit, or go to flipping boxing shows, no hotel rooms, sleeping on the floor, sleeping on reception, at the front receptions. You know, these are the kind of stuff I've been through.
Wait, whoa. Let's backtrack here a second. First of all, you're a member of Team Fury, yes or no? Or
yeah.
At the time?
At the time, yeah. I like to think so, yeah.
And you didn't have a tracksuit?
At times, we had to beg for tracksuits. We had to ask, look. Now, my size is pretty obvious. They know my size. And yet they'll come with a large tracksuit, deliberately giving me the wrong size. So
hold on. You've got a tracksuit for Team Fury. What is your role in Team Fury? Let's clarify this first.
I'm just the cornerman. I get all the corner work prepared, the bandages, the tape wraps, everything that needs to be prepared for a fight. That's my job.
And do you get paid for that all?
No, nothing at all.
So what about when you have to travel to Germany, or you have to travel to in camp? What happens then?
Apart from Germany, which was paid for by the Klitschkos or whoever, Peter, I think, that's the only time. Everything else I pay myself. Everything is paid on my own expense.
So technically, as part of Team Fury, you are a volunteer.
Which I have no problem with. It is what it is, you know.
That's I know a lot. That's perplexing, because for me, you're working a part of a professional unit. This is professional boxing that you're volunteering with the World Heavyweight Champion.
But it is what it is. If I'm not getting, you know, it's on a.
Well, it is. It isn't what it is, because that's not right. I'm sure if I can go into many gyms and many teams.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Ingram. I was very fortunate to be put in a position where I was, where look what I've learned. It's priceless. Where I've been put, it's priceless, isn't it?
Yes, but it's priced as the experience. But is it priced as degrading your self-dignity, degrading yourself, having to beg for a t-shirt, beg for a tracksuit?
No,
having to even go ahead.
That's not Team Fury. There were certain people that was in charge of the PR kind of area that were associated with Team Fury. They were the problem with me. They're the ones who were supposed to pay for everything and supposed to make sure that we had a hotel, had our tracksuits, had whatever expenses paid for. But these people never. Now, I'm not a little guy who's going to go and say, "Oh, Peter, this is the case," because we're not there to rock the boat. We just got on with our job. You know, Peter was never made aware of what was going off. You know what I mean? Because we were just doing what we was doing. We were just like, look, let's just make sure. It's like when a house is on fire. You don't blame who set the house on fire. You put the fire out first. It's like when a fight was coming up, we'll make sure the fight ended, and then we'll raise the issues. But horrible people. Certain people. And it's sad because, you know, every last one of the Furies, every last one of them have treated me with so much respect and so much time they've given me. It's unbelievable. There's nobody. You talk about the whole family being great. Even Mick Hennessy being brilliant. Frank Warren, brilliant. Adam Harris, brilliant. You name anyone associated in terms of the management, fantastic, spot on. But certain people around the PR side, oh my God, they were the worst.
Now, I know there was a guy who transferred from Amir Khan over to Team Fury, Asif Valley.
Yep.
What's his role and what does he do within Team Fury?
I think, is he public relations or media relations or PR? I don't know what he does, to be fair. I don't really have a relationship with him.
Well, okay, says PR. So what happens there? How does that all work out? Because if he's the PR now, then how does that work out?
I literally have no idea what his involvement is. I literally don't. All I know is that, you know, I don't really see with him. It was a case of he does what he does and I do what I do, and sometimes it's bad because when we go to certain press conferences, he'd be the one to say, "Well, you're not part of the team," and we'll get mixed messages. Well, hold on. But then there's times where he's told us not to come in, but then Mick Hennessy says, "Hold on, Asgar, you're part of a team. Come through." Peter's saying, "Come through," but we're like, "Well, no, your other guys just told us we're not part of the team." Does that make sense?
That seems to me that needs to be organised and put straight. Certain people need to put straight. That's it. Regardless, you either are part of the team or you're not part of the team. And if you are part of the team, then you get treated like part of the team. And if you're not part of the team, get lost.
Simple.
No, simple, straight words. No messing around. No messing
absolutely.
around.
Yeah, it's you know what? You know what it is?
It's divisive. Either way, it's divisive. And I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to have some structure and organisation, whoever it is, whether it's the PR, whatever. Some people's role needs to be defined. People need to have roles that are defined. I mean, it depends. Can they pull rank? Have they got position to pull rank?
In terms of Asif Valley, you know, I've got nothing against him, but I'll tell you one thing straight. He's never been good to me. He's never been good to me. And, you know, I wish him all the best. And I try not to look for the bad in people. I wish him all the best. I know he's running the Zach Valley Foundation, and I wish him all the best. But deep down, people around, they know who's been horrible, who's caused us problems, who's whispered evil thoughts into people's mind. Whether it is somebody, whether it isn't somebody, it's not for me to say. They know deep down who it is. Does that make sense?
Was it always the way like this, though, Asgar?
Never. No, it was brilliant before. You know, happy times where I tell you, I would go meet up with Peter, do the training sessions. Tyson would take us all out to Nando's. You know, would all, when I say the whole team, we're talking all the fighters, all the trainers, all the relatives, it was a beautiful, beautiful vibe. But then paranoia came.
Where did it go wrong?
When certain
what was the turning point? What was the turning point?
To be honest with you, it was all the power. Everybody wants to be in charge. Everybody wants to be the face. For example, now look when Ramsey, you know Ramsey, everyone knows Ramsey, part of Team Fury.
Great guy.
You know, unfortunately, so when he was left behind in the UK and he wasn't paid for or allowed to go to Germany.
Whoa. Rewind. Start again. He was left where?
Well, only 4 tickets was paid for. Only, you know, the corner people. Yeah. Now, my point was this. Now, you have certain people that were also brought along. Wouldn't your corner people be more important, or, you know, certain people would be involved? Now, when I spoke to certain people, I said, look, why wasn't he allowed to come? They said he's more than welcome to come. But when I spoke to other people, no, you know, he's no good for us, or whatever, whatever. And, you know,
But who are these
England,
people making these decisions? You can't have 2 captains of a ship. You have a captain and an assistant. You can't have 2 captains.
you know what it is?
Or as Lennox Lewis says, you can't have 2 bulls in one pen. One has to get booted out.
No, but this was nothing to remember. We were just the corner people. You remember this, England, yeah?
Yeah.
We were just the corner people that were helped. We were given an opportunity. We didn't do anything to rock the boat with anybody. All it was a power struggle where people were just trying to throw authority to us. Where, oh, you can't come in. Or you can't get a ticket. Even Tyson's brother was with me. And we couldn't get into the show.
What?
Listen, even his own brother. That's what I'm telling you. Certain little shits here, certain little people that really made it difficult for us. Now, for the sake of Allah and the sake of, you know, being good to everyone, I don't want to mention anyone's name. I forgive this person. Yeah? But that person has been horrible, horrible, horrible.
So okay, so Germany is where it all started going wrong then.
No, before Germany, to be fair, before Germany, because it was time.
Okay, all right, okay. I'm going to try and play detective here. I will try anyway. So okay, when did Asif Valley come on the? When did Asif Valley join Team Fury?
After the David Hay fight. Do you want David Hay? You remember when Tyson was supposed to fight David Hay?
Yes. So where did things start going wrong? To pinpoint a time.
I know where you're getting at.
Well, no. I'm just trying to put things together here because we'll at least get some sort of an idea, because it was all going well. Then we got to the Klitschko thing, and then you can't get there, and Ramsey's been left behind. So there's got to be some. Nothing just happens. There's got to be some lead up to it. There's got to be some sort of build up to what happened. Somebody has to feel empowered to say and make decisions. You can't just come into a group and start saying, you can't come in and you can't do that. That person has to have some sort of power, some sort of authority, or has been given the nod to say, you are in control of this, this, and this. Otherwise, they're a loose cannon.
You know what it is, Ingram? I've got to make it clear, yeah? In terms of Team Fury, I can't speak on their behalf. Does that make sense? I can't speak about whatever. All I can tell you is this, that certain people have made our life hell. If you'd have known what they've treated us like, you'd be disgusted. You know,
I'm trying to find out more.
No, I can only tell you what we've been through. I can't tell you the names. It's not fair.
Okay.
We've had to sleep on floors. We've had to pay to get into to get into shows, to do corner work for them.
What, you've had to pay? Right. Let me get this right. Maybe my volume's not right here. Rewind and come again, selector. You telling Uncle Ingram, yeah, that you have to pay to get in? You have to pay to get in a show to do the corner work.
On one occasion, I had to pay to get in.
Which fight was this?
It was in London when Huey fought Larry Alabama.
That was the night I saw you guys.
The night I met you. That's right. I did an interview with you. Yeah. And remember, you see me and you says, why are you so pissed off? You remember you said to me, you look a bit upset, Asgar. What's up?
And I didn't pay to go in. I didn't pay to go in.
I did, to be fair.
What? Listen, I did some media work, right? But I didn't pay to go in.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Go on.
Whoa. Hold on. I did some media work. You ran the corner.
I know what you're getting at, Ingram. And you know all the times I've been around you. Listen, it is what it is in terms of I'm not in it for the money. Trust me.
Obviously, you're not in it for the money. Obviously.
And they've really been
And
good to me.
maybe if you were in it for the money, they'd treat you differently.
Okay, what do I really do that deserves to be paid for? Nothing.
You're a cornerman. You're loyal.
Do
You're
cornermen
a cornerman and you're loyal.
Do cornermen get paid?
I would assume so. We can find out. I can find out.
I'm sure they don't. But either way, we was very fortunate. We was put in a very good position. You know, in terms of Furies, I don't want to talk about them.
Okay, hold on. I can't imagine. Let me give you a world-class team. Emmanuel Stewart, Harold the Shadow Knight, James Ali Bashir. That's 3 already. Courtney Shan. I can't imagine that James Ali Bashir, who's a cornerman, or Courtney Shan or Harold the Shadow Knight, who was in the team of Lennox Lewis, have to say, well, we're going to have to pay to go to America and pay to get on the show. That's ludicrous. That's not even right. That's not even professional. Sorry. I can't see that being the case. But
no, my flights were, in terms of Germany, my flights were all paid for. Everything was paid for in Germany, for me.
Okay, we'll skip that for a second. Let's talk about you sleeping on the floor. That's the next thing.
Yeah, I've had to sleep on the floors because there's, you know, no hotel rooms, you know.
Wait.
You're good, you.
You have to sleep on the floor. You are part of a professional setup as a cornerman, and you're sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
When were you sleeping on the floor?
I don't want to say. Listen, I've slept on so many floors, and you know what it is? It is what it is. It is what it is.
Well, it clearly isn't what it is, because as far as I'm concerned, listen, if I was working any corner, I would be sleeping on a damn floor. That's for sure. The only time I'd be on the floor sleeping is if somebody KO'd me. Right?
No. Let me explain. It wasn't a case of. I'm sure there were rooms made available for me. Remember this, yeah?
Yeah.
But when you go to the rooms, there's about 5, 6 people in that room. So I'm not one to complain to Peter or anything like that, because Peter is unaware. As far as Peter's concerned, everything is sorted for us. But when we got there, it was a nightmare. And then I asked, who was responsible? Who got all these people in there? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you know what it is? I don't want to move.
Okay, I know Clifton Mitchell's a good man, and he's been part of Team Fury, and he's part of in Derby as well. So how does it work with Clifton and him being part of the setup? How does it work with him? Because I know he does security and stuff.
I've no idea what happened. You know, Clifton's a very close friend of ours and a very close friend of Peter's, and I have no idea, to be fair. I have no idea with anything. All I'm told is to turn up to shows, do the corner, and I get off. It's that simple. I do go up and see Peter at the training camps, and that's it. I have no other involvement.
So what happened? Okay, let's go back a bit. Were you around when Tyson fought Cunningham?
I just joined straight after that.
Ah, right. Okay. Right. Okay. People want to know, because people spoke about this before. The night that Klitschko was getting his hands wrapped for the Fury fight. People want to hear that story again, because they didn't hear it clearly the last time, and they want to hear exactly what happened. And after we've had Steve Hearn on the show a few times talking about the power that Klitschko have, we need to hear it from you again, this story. And the Steve Hearn story, strange enough, him being on the channel, he has opened up a can of worms, because there are other fighters, journeyman fighters, that want to come on and talk about how promoters and management are taking absolute liberties. And Josic, his last name is, he's a fighter, that a journeyman fighter is going to be coming on Baylor to talk about it. So corruption in boxing, unbelievable. The stuff I'm hearing is unreal. So back to your point, Klitschko in the dressing room.
Yep, right. I'll tell you exactly how it was. How it works is a representative from the Furies go into the Klitschko's camp to watch them rap, and the representative from them come into our changing room to watch us rap. They sent Vitaly Klitschko to watch Clifton wrap up Tyson in the presence of Peter Fury. I was sent over to go into Klitschko's changing room to make sure that they wrapped up properly. I've done it before when Tyson fought Christian Hammer, so my experience speaks for itself. They can trust me in doing that. I've gone into the changing room. As soon as I knock the door, you've got all these bulky doormen. I like being very rude. What do you want? I says, I'm here to inspect the hand wraps. I've gone in there. He's already wrapped halfway. He's halfway through wrapping up. I've says, look, you need to take it off. He goes, no, I don't. So I've complained to the WBO official who says he's come over. Vladimir's told him, go back over there in a very rude way. Like, go over there in that corner. Just told him, move away. So then a hoo-ha's happened. I said, look, if you don't take the wrap off, I walk away and we will cancel the fight. But I didn't have the authority. So I'm arguing with him. And at that point, one of their corner people was saying, look, calm down. You don't know what you're doing. Look, we've done everything properly. It's properly. We don't cheat, this, that, and the other. I said, well, if you don't cheat, just simply take it off. Next thing you know, John Fury's seen me arguing. He came running in, barging in. He says, listen, if you don't take the wraps off, we walk. There's no fight. It has to be 50-50, end of. Then, is it Bonte? The guy with the blonde hair?
Bonte.
He's like, listen, are you guys trying to threaten me? You guys need the money. You guys don't know what you're doing. He's trying to give it the big hoo-ha. We've told him, look, F you, and then John and me have walked off. Is it Shelley Finkel?
Shelley Finkel.
Yep, he's called me and John to the side, says, look, whatever it takes, is there any way we can sort this out? Basically, hint, hint. I thought he was on about money. Are you trying to tell us you want to pay us money so you can cheat against John's son? No, don't work. John's obviously told him to do one. John's walked off. It says there's no fight. They thought, oh, we'll go to Peter. Peter's an honest man. We don't need to. Who cares what you guys say? So he knocked on the door. Peter goes, what's the problem? He says, look, these guys are delaying the fight. We've only got 15 minutes to go. Come on, can we just carry on, get on with it? Peter goes, Asgi, did you see him wrap from the start? I says, no. He says, well, if you do not re-wrap in front of him, the fight's off, end of. And that was it. They've, hissy fits and whatever, gone in the changing room, and they've had 15 minutes to re-wrap, or even 10 minutes at that time, to get ready for the fight. And that was what happened.
From your experience in the way that the gloves or the wraps were done, the hand wraps were done, did you see anything suspicious about the wraps?
Well, that's what made me tell him to re-wrap it, because, like you get a plaster cast.
Yes.
And it looks like it's normal, but once it's wet, it hardens up.
Right.
That's what it looked like to me. I'm not saying it was, but that's what it looked like to me. So to get rid of all them doubts, because there were doubts in my mind, could you please re-wrap? But they would not re-wrap in front of me. The rule they made was, we will re-wrap as long as Asgi is not in the room when we re-wrap. And it was Asif Valley, funny enough, that went back in there and inspected the re-wrap. Why wouldn't you want me in the room? Ingram?
Wow. Because you won't stand for any crap.
Absolutely.
You can't be swayed by money.
And not just that, let's rewind. Let's go back. Let's go right back. We'd gone to the changing room. We've been escorted into the changing room, and you've gone into this massive changing room, and it's full of drinks, everything. Everything was laid out because it was so hot that everything was laid out, drinks. So what's the first thing you're going to do?
Drink water.
Absolutely. But we was made aware. See, Tyson's got some good people. Peter knows the score, so we was already pre-warned. So we had to get rid of all the drinks, clear the whole room out. The water we had had never left our side. If it had left outside, it had to be chucked away. We was not taking a chance. The only person I could trust was Tommy Fury, who was Tyson's brother. Because it had to be somebody that you could trust. So we guarded everything. We made sure we swabbed everything, looked for like bugs, everything. Cleared everything out, reshuffled the whole changing room, and had it prepped how we wanted it. Now, this is where it got all fishy, because they had so-called security guards We're like, who are you? We don't need you. We've got our own security guards because you leave the bill. No, we're told to stay here. They were just spies. Everybody was just spies for them. Klitschko's controlled everything. Every last thing. They tried every last trick in the trade.
I remember John talking about going to the arena with Peter to see the ring.
Yep.
And they saw sponging.
Absolutely, trampoline. Now, these are the kind of lengths they go to, even to the point where, did you ever watch the face-to-face where they had to stand face-to-face and all of a sudden, Vladimir looked taller than Tyson?
Yes, I saw that.
And did you see the blocks he put in his shoes?
Yes.
Embarrassing. This is the lengths they will go to. And then when Clifton said to Vladimir and Vitaly, what would you have done if we had rapped before you got it? He says, I would have done the same. This was from Vitaly's own mouth. So he understands the game we did. It's like when they fought Chisora. What did they do? They made Chisora take off the wraps, re-wrap.
I know what they did. I know what they do with Chisora. I've got knowledge of what happened with Chisora.
Yeah. So, you know, unless you're a professional, team, you're not going to know. You've got to do your homework. Now, when Anthony Joshua fights, well, he is fighting him now, isn't he, apparently? Now, he's got to make sure he does absolute everything. Check everything. They will not miss a trick. No, they will try every trick. You cannot afford to miss a trick. To beat Klitschko, half of the battle is outside. Remember that.
But Klitschko has so much power.
Absolutely, of course he has power. That's the name of the game. It's business.
Are Joshua's people looking after him or looking after or looking after themselves? We won't know until fight time, will we?
Well, we've just signed up Luis Ortiz. Now we've got have they got a backup plan? Now, either way, like I said, you know the difference between them.
If Joshua to get beat, they've got Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, but can I just say the difference between Anthony Joshua's team and Team Fury?
Yeah.
Team Fury's family. They're not motivated by money. They want it to be fair and square. They're fighting people. That the fighting's based on honor. Now, if it's not fair and square, they walk. If you offer them 10 million, they will still not go for it. They're not driven by money. They're driven by fairness. They want it to be fair, and that's why they got the best of Klitschko's. A lot of people would have thought, "Wow, bloody hell! I'm making 5 million for this fight. Oh, I don't want to lose a 5 million. Oh yeah, whatever you want. If you want the ring, yeah. If you want the gloves, yeah. No, with Fury's, it was straight 50-50 or do one.
Okay. While everything's going on as it is at the moment, what are your thoughts now about everything in terms of, the way forward? Because
I totally agree with what Peter says. The way forward is let Tyson vacate the belts. He'll have no problem as long as he knows when he's well and he's had the right help, which I'm sure he is getting. Give him that opportunity to fight for it when he comes back, because it's quite clear he's not well. It's quite clear he's got issues. It's not like he's been doing it in his own sane mind. He clearly isn't right. Now, I agree with what Peter says. Give the man that chance. Now, whether Anthony Joshua and Vladimir, whoever wins, who are the public going to demand to come back? Tyson Fury. Now, while they were looking in that direction, they need to look at Hughie Fury. Now, I'm still adamant. I'm still to this day will tell you, Hughie Fury would demolish AJ. He would demolish him. And he's one fight away from the world title. Remember, he's number 3. You've got Vitaly Klitschko number 1. Is it Joseph Parker number 2?
Vladimir Klitschko number 1.
Sorry. Andy Ruiz number 2. Hughie Fury number 3.
What about Joseph Parker?
Is he not the IBF mandatory number 1?
I thought he's WBO mandatory.
No.
He's mandatory in two divisions.
I'm sure it's not the WBO. I'm sure it is the IBF.
Okay, what is the IBF? I stand corrected.
Okay. But it is what it is. To be honest with you, it opens up the game. It opens up, and the public will cry. They will cry for Tyson. They will know, you know what? The witch hunt, the campaign it's a starved the public of real talent, of real greatness. You know, England, Britain have a real champion, the undisputed, the undeniable, undefeated Tyson Fury. And if this is how you want to treat him, you will be crying for him to come back.
So, okay, the story about the cocaine. What are your thoughts on this?
Shocked. Completely shocked. You know, you can, people know my tweets. I was, it's not Tyson Fury that I know. I will never, I still don't believe it. I still cannot believe it. Even if Tyson Fury was to come in front of my face and says, yes, I did it, I wouldn't believe it. That's how shocked I would be. Now, you can imagine me being that shocked. How distraught must you think Peter and John and his brothers must feel? And you know what sickens me is people have manipulated a man who wasn't in a mental state to put that in front of him. The scum. You know, I really do hope Peter well, I don't want Peter to get involved. I don't want none of the Furies to hit anybody. They will get, then people will get their justice. They will get their justice.
Well, hold on. Could it be a case that the stuff was slipped into Tyson's drink or slipped into his stuff or slipped in?
Yeah, but absolutely. It could have been anything. But we don't know. Nobody knows what's going on. But what they do know is that 2 samples have been tested positive. That's what they're saying. Am I right?
Yeah. But then, but even if that's the case, Tyson's post Tyson's post on Twitter, I mean, that can't surely do him any favors.
Well, does this not show you that he's thinking this is all a joke, that he's not taking it serious, that he's not in the right stable mind? You know, you.
Well, surely you shut or keep yourself away from social media.
Sorry?
Keep yourself away from social media.
But if he's not reachable, if you can't get hold of him, I didn't know the ins and outs of who's around him, and it's not nice. It's a shock. It's a shock for anybody. It's a shock. It's a complete shock, and I'm sure the family's dealing with it. I see pictures of Tyson with his brothers now, which is great, and I'm sure they will help him out. I'm sure. Listen, my heart goes out to Peter because it isn't easy for him. It's not easy.
There is a feeling with myself that there's about 3 or 4 layers to this story.
I haven't, you know, for me, it's all come as a shock.
But the thing is, it just seems to be one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. It's not just one thing. Okay, you got caught with the cocaine. Okay, fine, fair enough. But then, you know.
Okay, let's go right back. When it says that he was tested for a banned substance, yeah? Hello? What's that heat from? You froze on me, Ingram. Whoa, what's gonna fear? Now, what's going on? Ingram, can you hear me? Hot in here, man. Hello, Ingram.